Leonor. I am truly pleased to be at Champalimaud for the second time in a few months. And truly I can tell you, dear friends, that this place is a very unique place. And today I hope this would be a historic day also for the Emanuele Cancer Research Foundation in Malta, for the potential now a memorandum of understanding that would be signed with Champalimaud Foundation. Well, Your Excellency, Nasser Kamel, Secretary General of the Union for the Mediterranean, Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear friends, I am truly honored to be with such a distinguished group of participants for this important conference. I would like to thank my dear friend and colleague, even though he's not here, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Portugal, President Marcelo, for hosting this conference in his beautiful country. Let me commend you, Your Excellency, Nasser, Secretary General of the Union for the Mediterranean, for bringing us together. And my appreciation again goes to the President of Champalimaud Center for the Unknown for providing this wonderful venue. Over the years, the Women4Mediterranean Conference has created an enriching and respectful space to explore, to promote, to share, and to actively pursue the empowerment of women in the Mediterranean region. As we celebrate the 10th anniversary since the launch of the Union for the Mediterranean, I believe that there is much to be proud of. It is with satisfaction that I note that the partnerships that this union has created and strengthened during this decade among our 43 countries and beyond have developed into meaningful friendships. Moreover, I'm also pleased to know that our union is creating a shared sense of ownership to address the many challenges and also grasp the opportunities that are present in our region. One instance is this conference, which is giving visibility to the valuable contribution being made by the girls and women within our diverse communities and countries of the Mediterranean. However, I believe that we must admit that the valuable contribution of girls and women is still too often ignored or minimized due to the gender inequalities which still predominate our region. Women must not only be collaborators. Women must equally share positions of leadership to ensure that a positive, sustainable, and long-lasting change is effectively achieved in our region. The inclusion, the participation, and the empowerment of our girls and women cannot be a simple footnote on the Mediterranean agenda. Gender equality must be one of the primary goals on our agenda. In order to achieve this goal, I believe our authorities and civil society activists must be encouraged and supported to overcome the cultural and social barriers that still impede so many women and girls from their full participation within our Mediterranean societies. Let me draw your attention to the Women's Empowerment in the Mediterranean Region report, commissioned by the European Committee of the Regions last year. The report states that differences in opportunities between women and men cannot only be explained by gaps in educational attainment. Rather, it is the socio-cultural norms regarding women and their place in the family and our communities which results in discrimination within the workplace and society. Addressing social, cultural, and economic barriers for women is an essential component to successfully implement the resolutions of the Ministerial Conference on strengthening the role of women in society. The outcomes of this conference make it clear that our countries must do more to include women in public life and positions of decision-making, to improve the economic inclusion of women, to effectively combat all forms of gender-based violence, and to eliminate harmful sexist stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. All of these goals require a fundamental shift in the way our societies perceive and encourage the contributions of girls and women. I am convinced that the diversity of our Mediterranean cultures is a strength, but it also means that we must work harder to agree on specific fundamental values that we should share in common. Dear friends, I believe that these values are founded first and foremost on the protection of human dignity by upholding universal human rights and fundamental freedoms. Gender equality is essentially a human rights issue. In the words of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which will be 70 years old this year, and it says, everyone is born free and equal. It is high time that we put the Universal Declaration of Human Rights fully into practice. Moreover, the equality of women is a vital precondition to achieve sustainable development. Achieving the equality of women is also a commitment which all of our countries have made in 2015, when we all adopted the United Nations Agenda 2030 and its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. In particular, SDG number 5 commits us to do our utmost to end all forms of discrimination against women and girls everywhere, and to eliminate the many causes of discrimination that are still denying women their rights. In this context, as laid out in the declaration of the Ministerial Conference, there is an urgent need for our authorities to implement comprehensive gender equality laws, which are in line with the mandate of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Moreover, as stated in the outcomes of the same Ministerial Conference, the countries of the Mediterranean must address, and I quote, the multi-layered structural inequalities which persist within our societies. It is these inequalities and injustices which continue to hold us back, and which, if not addressed, will hold back our future generations, preventing them from living in a peaceful and prosperous world, free from inequalities, prejudice, and discrimination. I augur that this conference will continue to build on previous endeavors and be an effective catalyst for action. Thank you.